Okay, so most people think you need some sort of college degree or you need to be some sort of coding wizard or have a huge following on social media just to be able to escape your 9 to 5 and build an online income using the web. It's just not true. Now, I've managed to create an online business that now brings in over $100,000 a year in annual recurring revenue. And that's before I've built a single website. And that's without having any of these. I've done it by mastering just one skill: WordPress. In this video, I'll show you exactly how I went from being stuck in a regular job to building a business that pays me monthly and gives me total freedom. And you don't need a degree or any technical background to do this. Anybody can learn it. By the end of this video, you'll know the 3 things that really matter if you want to leave your job and start making real money online. Now, if you want to know more about this after you've watched this video, then you can check out the link below or the link in my bio where I've got a free training for you. Okay, so let's get stuck in. Okay, first of all, the misconception. This is what most people get wrong. Now, most people think that you need a degree, you need to learn to code, or you need to be some sort of digital marketing expert to be able to escape the 9 to 5. Another misconception is that you want to go after the big money skills, like something like SEO or Google Ads, things that pay high fees, which you think might give you a bit more freedom. Now, the real issue with these paths are things like SEO, ads, or any sort of marketing. The client assigns an expectation to their spend. So if they're paying you $1,000 a month or whatever it is, they're going to expect to see results, okay, which is normal. And that's sometimes out of your control. So it could be that you've done great work, you've got them to the top of Google, the client's happy, then what? Overnight, Google changes the algorithm, which they do, and then those rankings can disappear. Nothing you can do about it. You might have competitors that are doing SEO for the same keyword in the same town as you, which is likely, and they outspend you. They spend more money on marketing. They have more articles written. They do more with an SEO agency. They outspend you. You can't compete with that with the budget that the client's given you. So again, client's not going to be happy because you haven't delivered better results. So the problem is you're always on the hook for someone else's outcome. You know, you're responsible for it. If things don't work, they're going to get rid of you. And that's the biggest problem with these sort of services is it's the churn. Okay. So you sign somebody up, they'll probably stay with you a few, 3, 4, 6 months at the most if you tie them in, and they leave unhappy because they wouldn't have had the results that they've had. Or you tell them you need to spend more money. Again, they're not going to be happy with that either. So it's very rare that if I've recommended somebody to an SEO agency that they've stayed with them more than 6 months. So the churn is really high. Another downside or misconception really is that you think building websites, like one-off websites where you get paid once in a big chunk, is the right way forward. Because every month you're building a website, and then once it's done, you then got to go and find another client to build a website. So it's never predictable income. It's always hustling, looking for work. So, you find a client, you build their website, then you got to find a new one because you got no money coming in next month. So it's that constant looking and hustling for work. So for me, what actually works, and this is my model, so learn the basics of WordPress. Okay, so no coding or degree needed. Yes, you need to learn the fundamentals, like, understanding the fundamentals. You need to be able to build basic WordPress websites. Then you need to learn skills like SEO, security, performance, all the different things that you need to learn in WordPress, but there's a path for that. And then what you can do when you've got those skills, you can offer care plans and ongoing support. So clients, they want stability and they want peace of mind. So that their online store or their online website is just online, secure, and kept up to date. Very, very little expectation in return for doing that. And if obviously the website's not online, you'll have the tools to be able to monitor that. So look, maintenance isn't glamorous. I'm not saying it is. I know things like SEO and, ads, they're a bit more glamorous, but maintenance isn't glamorous, but the expectations are so low, you have low pressure and very little churn. Okay, so people pay you monthly and they continue to pay you. Most of the time, you just send a monthly report, so that's it, and that can be automated, and you will rarely hear from the clients and get paid every single month after month after month. Okay, so that's the model that I promote. So just to cover some key comparisons. So traditional agency models is, big project, big fees, but then you start from zero again every month. Okay, so it's that constant churn. Or you offer results services, so things like SEO, ads, but you're on the hook for outcomes that you can't fully control, and this results in high churn, unhappy customers, and then you're constantly looking for the next one. Okay. Now, my recurring revenue model is you stack up clients on monthly care plans and hosting. All right. This brings in predictable, low-stress income that builds month after month, even before you've built any new websites. Now, of course, if you're going to go down this route, you are going to build websites. It's part of the business. But the point is not to be reliant on that. You want to get into a position where you've got reliable income coming in every month because of the care plans, and then the websites become the cream, on top of the cake. So the bottom line is, look, you don't need to chase sexy marketing skills or put your income at the mercy of Google or Facebook, because that's where it will be if you start relying on those services. You can create real freedom and stability by keeping websites online, safe and updated. And it's as simple as that. All right. So let's get into the 3 steps. Okay. So step number 1, you need to learn a skill that businesses actually need. Now, WordPress powers over 40% of the internet and it's growing. Okay. Just think about that. Every single website that's on the internet, over 43% of them are built in WordPress. That's a massive number. Okay. So straight away, you've got an unlimited pool of potential clients to go after to offer hosting and maintenance. Okay. There's millions and millions and millions of websites out there that are built in WordPress. And like I said, it's growing. Don't let anybody say that WordPress is dying, because the stats show that from January 2024 to January 2025, it grew from 43.1 to 43.6 of the internet now using WordPress. Okay, so it's still the number 1 powerhouse when it comes to building websites online. Now, every business, big or small, needs a website, okay? They can't avoid it. If they haven't got a website, that's another opportunity for you to build them a website and then offer them a care plan, okay? So they need a website. Most business owners don't know how to build or run the sites themselves, okay? So this is a great opportunity for you to step in and become an expert. So show people that you understand WordPress and then you can help them with that service. Now, WordPress is one of the most accessible skills to learn online. It's easy. There's plenty of resources out there. And with the right guidance, you can go from 0 to pro, basically, or, very competent and confident, much faster than you might even think, because obviously there's a core fundamentals that you need to understand, that you need to learn. And then on that, you will build. I love the quote that I heard, which WordPress is a journey, not a destination. So don't think you can pick up a book, read it, and then, you're the master of WordPress. Every project that you work on, you're going to get better at. So my recommendation is that you just go along for the journey, and every single project, every single query you'll get from a client will be a challenge. Like, okay, I've got this problem now. It might be a new one for you, but then, people need that service. And look, you don't need a tech degree. You don't need to be good with computers. Like, obviously, it does help, obviously, but you don't need to be. It's not necessarily something that you have to have. And the skills are universal. So once you learn the basics, you can build for anyone, anywhere. And this is something that really has kept me in this industry for so long. My wife, she used to be a teacher and we used to live in Wales, and every summer she'd have 6, 7, 8 weeks off, whatever it was, when she was in a private school. And we'd go to the south of the France where she's from, and I'd be able to just pick my computer, take it with me and work from there. You can work from anywhere in the world offering this service. And that's why, for me, it has to be up there as one of the most sensible things to do. If you're thinking of leaving your 9 to 5, whatever the reason might be, it might be that you want to earn more money. It might be that you just want a bit more freedom. It might be that you want to travel. You can do it with this skill. All right. So just to give a bit of background, like my story, I started building demo websites for people in the night or after work, making loads of mistakes. Yes, making lots of mistakes. I had nobody to rely on, yes, YouTube existed, but there wasn't that many videos on there at the time. So I learned by doing and making mistakes. Okay, so no fancy background, no connections, just persistence. I decided that this is something that I want to do. My background was in sales. I'd done, sales jobs after sales jobs. I wasn't in computers. I hadn't learned to code. I'd never I went to university, but I did accounting. I didn't do any coding. So just to put it in perspective, this is something that anybody can pick up. Okay. So step 2, getting your first paying client. So you don't have to be an expert. You just need to get started. And I mean that. Just find someone you know and offer them your services. Offer to build a website to someone that you know or a local business for a small fee, or you can even offer to do it for free if they'll give you a testimonial in return. Okay. So just say, look, I've got this special offer on. I'm just putting some practice in. I can build you a website. You can have it for free. And then just ask them, if they'll give you a review, because what you want to try and do is build up these reviews so you can put them on your website, which will help you attract new clients further down the line. So every time you finish a project, this is going to boost your skills, your confidence, and obviously increase your portfolio, because when people go to your website, they're going to want to see what sort of websites that you've built in the past. And this is another way of, when you're starting out, building those websites. So, if you're still in a job, it's perfect to do on the evening and weekends. And don't underestimate the power of word of mouth. Now, one happy client can turn into two into four into six. Now, I in 15 years, I've never done any form of advertising for websites. Obviously, I just used the network and, relied on word of mouth. Some people say, it's not a good strategy because, that could stop. But honestly, everyone I know that does use word of mouth and you do a good job, it's been a very good strategy. I don't know what better word to say for it, but it's a good strategy. So just a quick checklist for things that you should be doing. So reach out to your network, okay? So think about who you've got in your phone, who you've got friends on Facebook, who your contacts on Instagram. Reach out to them. Just say, look, I'm now a website. I wouldn't go down the route of saying, do you want one? Because that's a bit direct. I would just reach out to everybody that you know. And this is like an Alex Hormozi training. So if you don't know who he is, he's one of the founding members or the investors inside School. But Alex Hormozi suggests that you reach out to all of your contacts and just say, look, I'm now a web guy. I build websites or whatever it is that you're going to be offering. Do you know someone that might be interested in this? So you're not asking them direct, do you want a website? And then they feel a bit awkward saying, oh, no, or just ignoring you. Reach out to them, say, hey, look, I just seen you on Facebook. I've seen how's the baby or how's the missus, whatever it is, something that you've got in common with them just to break the ice. And then just go into, I'm now gone into web development or I'm exploring web development. Do you know somebody that might need a website? Okay. And then what that's technically doing is in asking them, maybe they do know somebody that needs a website, but it's also maybe they need a website, but because you've asked it that way, it's easier for them to go, hey, look, yeah, no worries. And then that conversation has started. Okay. So that's the way I'd reach out. People on your phone, people in Instagram, people on Facebook, any of your friends, just let everybody know, become the web guy. Next thing you do is you need to build your own website. Now, on your website, you need to make sure that you've got your portfolio of websites, the demo websites that you've put together. And you need to make sure that you've got a load of testimonials on there from the people that you've built the free websites for. And you need to make it clear and easy for them to be able to book a call with you so you can discuss the next steps of, your process of building a website for somebody. So that's the checklist of what you should be doing. Reach out to your network, build your own website so you've got a portfolio and testimonials to show people, and then use local groups, Facebook groups, even LinkedIn and community boards, just to let people know that, you're offering this service. So for me, my first paying client was a personal trainer, and, the owner of that business actually recommended me to a friend of his who he played rugby with, who was a window cleaner. And then suddenly, I sort of had like a mini client tree growing all from one site. And this is the network. This is what you want to try and create, is this network, because you do a good job for one person, they'll tell another person. Okay. And in terms of pricing, I think the goal is to sort of increase your price every website you build. So as your experience grows, start increasing your prices. Okay. Now, third and the most important is that you turn these skills into recurring income and freedom. Okay. So the real freedom isn't in building those websites and getting, £200, £500, £1,000, 5,000, whatever it is that you're going to grow to. The income is, in that recurring income that you're going to generate from these customers. Okay. So not just the one-off bills. So when you offer someone a website, don't just offer the website on its own. Add a care plan assigned to it. So this offers updates, backups, support, and even hosting if you want to go to that route. You can even offer emails. There's loads of things we can talk about that you could offer, but you want to make sure that when you're talking to people about websites that you're offering the care plans, okay? So care plans, they just mean that clients will pay you monthly, and literally it's for peace of mind. It's a bit like an insurance policy. You don't think about it, you just pay it, okay? There's no results assigned to it that gives you pressure, okay? So when I first started out, there were two guys in an office next door to mine, and they gave me the best piece of advice that I've probably had ever, which was you need to find a service that you can offer these customers where they'll pay you monthly. They don't even notice they're paying it, but they feel like they have to pay it and they like paying it to you because they've got that peace of mind, okay? So for me, it made sense to then offer hosting and maintenance. And, that has grown and grown and grown. I wish I'd taken it seriously, like, using this model that I've got now then, because I would have had a lot more clients now than I do. But that's what you want to be offering, is just giving people a peace of mind and, charging them a small fee every month that they pay you, and this will build over time. Now, just to give you, an idea, just start off small. Just think 5 clients paying you $99 a month. That's $495 every month coming in. Not just that month, the next month, the next month. So, just think if you had 5 this month, that's $495. Next month you get another 5, then you're up to nearly $1,000 a month coming in, and you can just constantly grow this over time. And before you know it, you'll have a money-making machine paying you every month. 20 clients, what's that? Nearly $2,000 a month. If you imagine you get to 100 clients, that's $10,000 every month coming in. Then, you don't have to build websites. You just got these care plans paying your bills, everything. So you can scale this as much or as little as you want. And don't forget about add-ons, like adding performance add-ons, make their website faster. You can charge them more. Mailboxes, more additional backups, additional support. So you might have some customers that maybe you offer an hour of maintenance normally, maybe they want 4 hours of maintenance. So you can, increase the price based on that. So you can easily ramp up what you're charging people every month. So look, don't be fooled. Clients want this, okay? They'd rather pay you or someone to keep their website safe and working than try and do it themselves, because most people, they haven't got the knowledge or even the time. They've got a business to run. They don't care about doing this. They'd rather just go, right, yeah, fine, I'll just pay you $100 a month, whatever it is, $70 a month, whatever you want to charge to deal with that for them. And then you become their web guy. They've got peace of mind. They know the website's online. And if something goes wrong with the website, they haven't got to worry about how to fix it. They just tell you. But using the right tools that we can teach you, you can use those tools will alert you before they've even known if there's a problem. So don't worry about that. So look, once I stacked up enough clients to cover my bills, I realized then that I had freedom. And that was the key aspect for me, is no more relying on finding projects every month. Because, honestly, once you've got that freedom, you've hit that goal every month of, making sure that your bills and your salary is paid every month because of this recurring income coming in, the pressure is off you. Like that animal instinct is gone, okay? When you're not at that point and you're constantly looking for work, you start to sound desperate when you speak to clients, and that comes off and it's harder to convert people. When you've got that relaxed and you've got rid of that animal instinct of, desperately looking for the next job, you sound more relaxed, you appear more relaxed, you speak to clients more relaxed, you start getting more work, you start getting more people coming to you, you start getting bigger projects coming to you as well. So it does, that's my experience, and that's what I think, can happen to you as well. So hopefully you found that useful. Now, if you want to see exactly how this works step by step, then you can click the link in my bio, or click the link below, or head over to WPOdyssey.com and you can watch the free training on that page. Look, it's no catch, no fluff, just real practical steps that you can use right away. Now, on that link, you can watch the free training, and if you're ready to take action and you feel that we're a good fit to maybe work together a bit more, then you'll see exactly how you can book a free strategy session with me, and then we can map out a path for you together of how you could potentially leave your 9-to-5 and move into something like this. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you have, I'll see you on the other side. If not, then we'll see you on the next video. Take care.